Hello again. So, right, where are we? Okay, Raider woman. Please, we don't know anything. He left us years ago. No, don't you worry. You have nothing to fear. See, your husband is a close friend of my colleague who I'm trying to find for some time. It's like he disappeared into thin air, and me and my bosses are very concerned for his safety. Now, if I can find your husband, I assure you, your family will come to no harm. A name, a planet, anything will help us. I can't. He is my husband. You and I both know he's not worth the trouble. He is dealing with some very dangerous people. People you don't want anywhere near your daughter. I don't know where he is, but he has been hiding something. Some sort of device. Go on. Someone paid Samir a great deal of money for him to steal the device from Libera. They also granted him access to several Marian planets for finding the necessary components to examine it. You're boring me, Baron. I'm losing my patience. Please. Tick tock, tick tock. Why is this guy so evil? And like comically evil. I recorded our last conversation in my Vision X in case something had happened to him. I knew what he was working on was dangerous. It was different. He was different. I knew that it would eventually come back to haunt us. His location was encrypted, but you are an Egon. So, you aren't completely useless after all. May I? Please, just don't hurt my daughter. Never. Even I have my limits. I never hurt children. Initiate cross connection. Oh, here we go. Lucky you. He sure talks a lot. Just a second more. Thank you for your cooperation. Will this be enough? Certainly. Now, I know I promised I wouldn't hurt your daughter. But I never promised I wouldn't hurt you. Oh, so evil. I hate women like you. So easy to betray your loved ones. Today your husband, tomorrow your children. You remind me of my mother. No, please. Let's make sure you'll never betray anyone again. Mommy? And now we flip back to somebody else. Who are we with now? Okay. We have arrested Mr. Mathieson successfully, but the Howler and her accomplices escaped before the reinforcements arrived, Ryons. How? Mr. Mathieson's Oxybot prototype seemed to have held back the Aegis forces. I can't believe Mathieson could publicly defy Aegis. I never took him for a fool. The attack of the prototypes was against Mr. Mathieson's command, ma'am. We've checked. He had initiated several deactivation sequences. None of them were answered. How did this happen? We believe it was the Howler, Ryan. She may have the ability to infiltrate technological devices. We have found several glitches in the Oxybot's memory data that we believe to be made by the Howler. No, the Aquarius division helped create this technology. The bots have no remote connection access. It is impossible to infiltrate them from outside sources. The glitches were made during the assault, sir. I'm afraid we have no other explanation. Except? Apita, sir. Apita is the only inside source that could have infiltrated the Oxybot prototypes. Are you trying to tell us that Apita itself may have helped this Howler escape? That would be highly unlikely, ma'am, which is why we believe it was the Howler. Unlikely, but not impossible. We still don't know the exact capabilities of Apita. Nonsense! Aphata? Aphata is a machine. I'm going to start saying Aphata if I can remember. That's it, Adept. Thank you. You may leave. Cardinal Cross is upon us. Even Aphata has turned her back against us. These are religious thoughts, speculations at best. Pisces, you've been awfully quiet. Overwhelming stuff. I just don't know what to say. Perhaps an explanation of your latest actions will help cure your silence. My latest actions? Can you tell us why you've been contacting the Raider Howler ship? The Arian, was it? She did what? What is this about, Capricorn? Recently, the intelligence found a disturbing piece of evidence regarding the rogue Egon and the Howler. I've had them watching out for irregularities in the upcoming and ongoing transmissions. One of them was an outgoing anonymous transmission made from the auditor's room while he was away. Naturally, I had it decrypted. Most of the data was corrupted, of course, but I caught a glimpse into the call itself. A very short voice print was salvaged, enough to hear a certain name. A name that we all know very well. Reed Carell Brooks. The professor. I knew it. You've helped him escape, covered his tracks, and now letting him assist this howler in her mission to destroy Apheta. Why, Pisces? Why would you want to get rid of Apheta, Pisces? We've looked into her chart. There is no betrayal seen. How could this have happened? How could we miss something like this? Like it never happened before. How did the previous Pisces retire? Or the one before? No matter how many upgrades, how many modifications you make for Apheta, it's never enough. We are here to fill in the blanks, the intelligence, the government, I guess. We decide who stays in power and who leaves, not Apheta. We use it to justify our own choices, make it seem like there is a divine order in the galaxy. Why was I chosen? Was it not for the number of Raider fugitives I saved? To keep them in line, like a shield protecting both you and them. Don't turn this into a philosophical debate. As every other Pisces before you, you've chosen to sacrifice your own people for personal matters. Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I did this for Corel? I love him, but I'd kill him in a heartbeat if I knew it was going to stop this destruction. I did everything for my people who are about to lose everything they have on their dying planets. Raiders are fleeing their homes because we are too scared to live a life they are forced to live. They are killing my planets, my people, because we need Apheta for what? To make millions suffer for a clean conscience? To be able to say it wasn't our choice, it was Apheta's? How does it feel to be out of your comfort zone for once? To lose your certainty? To feel vulnerable against the unknown? What we do here is to protect the order in the galaxy, Pisces, not just protecting the benefits of the Marian people. It is bigger than the fight between Marian raiders. We let 100 die to protect 1,000,000. You are feeding the flames, turning the 100 into martyrs, legends. We will fall, Capricorn, and we will take planets full of people with us. You are trying to control the uncontrollable. Chaos is upon you, and it's angrier than ever because you've denied it for so long. This is not protection. You are just addicted to the luxury of knowing the outcome of your power struggle. To be one step ahead of chaos, you create one within yourself. I can't hold Raider people any longer. My planets are dying. They are overpopulated. 7 planets, Ryons. 7 planets full of people. Instead of letting a terrorist destroy the base of our technology, you could try keeping the Raider people off your planets. Where do you think they would go if I denied them Aquarius? Do you think they would suddenly stop trying to escape Raider planets? Escape death? It would be yours this time, and illegally too. Or maybe worse, it'll be a Libera-held planet. Think about how big of a leverage it'll be against us if that happens. Giving Libera what they have always wanted. Unity. You give them enough people to join their cause, and their bite will hurt. I've begged you for years for a solution. You've ignored me and my people. You called me too young. You called me too inexperienced to deal with the Raider problem as I see fit. I did what was needed to protect my people, Marian people. This imbalance is killing us on the inside. Even Marians are now questioning the cost of the luxury we have been providing to them for all these years. This imbalance is created to keep the order, Pisces. People question because we let them, and they question only with the information we have given them. They do not know what we do, and they do not have to. We know so we can protect people from the truth. We sacrifice so we can protect the people of their own conscience. We see the reality so we can let the people live in theirs. We kill so the people won't have to. Raiders and Marian alike. You have failed your people. You have failed the galaxy. You have failed the order which lives to protect both the victim and the perpetrator. This is our duty as Ryons, Pisces. By loving your people too much, you've let them suffer. You dare talk about suffering. Have you ever lost a planet, Capricorn? Any loss was necessary. If the Raiders had won the war, we wouldn't have a galaxy to speak of. I won't apologize for any of it. Apheta should never have been built. We should never have made a copy of the original. It was not ours to use. It gave us nothing but destruction. No, without Apheta, destruction is all we have. It's a shame, Zoya Lynch. I had high hopes for you. Really? I don't think so. Pisces lie. Isn't that what we do best? No, not what you do best. Oh, she fucking died! This should never have happened. How did she hide her betrayal from us? This was not betrayal. It was sacrifice. Now that you see how easily we can be manipulated, you understand the severity of this Cardinal Cross. We are weakened, yes, but not stupid. Unless you want this Howler to succeed in destroying the entire galaxy, we need to plan for our actions slowly, carefully, cleverly. Failure is not an option. What about the Sphere Life case? No, Rose Palmer didn't join the investigation until after the CEO was arrested. She has only ever been to one of the interrogations, sir. I remember her talking about Franjo-Nimac. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. She thought there was a connection between the company Libera and Reynolds. I could look deeper into the older transactions, but I think it would take a lot less time if we involved the intelligence, sir. No, the intelligence reports aren't reliable while we are looking into a rogue Egon. Do you think Rose Palmer altered these reports? I think the intelligence altered the reports. They'd do anything to hide the corruption within. I understand. Sir, about the first Pious. I'm not going to like this, am I? You told me if I heard any news, I should inform you. Go on. She was recently seen on Astea with the Howler and the rogue Egon. Astea? There was an operation to arrest Mr. Mathieson and the Howler. It was during a social event of some sort. Mr. Mathieson was arrested, but the Howler has escaped. Mathieson? Harry Mathieson? Who was in charge of the operation? I wasn't notified. It was a direct order from the Ryon, sir. Aegis 1st Division was sent. What were they thinking? Bring me the reports of the operation. Yes, sir, right away. And Mathieson's cell block. I'll look into it, sir. I'll fucking kill you, you metal piece of shit. My skeleton was made of blue labdium. There is nothing metal in my body. You crashed my ship. I didn't crash your vessel. You were in control the whole time. You gave me the wrong coordinates. I gave you the best coordinates I could find. It was your unbalanced flying. My what? I let blind, Timbrain. My brain was made... I don't care. Is there any way to salvage the Aryan, Wiz? Not unless the trees are growing spare engine parts. Where are we? It's Celeon 77. Celeon? The Celeon? No way, no way. I've never heard of the Celeon before. Is this Raider territory? It is! It's actually the oldest Raider planet in recorded history. I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. Why not? There are no known star charts of the planet, no map. This planet is invisible to Mirai. It's a Howler planet. Yes. My mother sent me here. This is where we were meant to come. Yo, what? Before you start making ridiculous assumptions, my mother is a Theta, so to speak. She created me. She talks to me. Do we have to collect every nut job in the galaxy, Lana? Yeah, let's ditch the crazy bot. Not you, Kit. Your family. Thank you, Mr. Batur. That's a relief. Afita talks to you. Do I have to repeat myself for every one of you? Yes. You won't understand. Try me. Afeta and I have a bond, a private channel invisible to everyone else but us. It's as if we are one and the same, but I can speak your language and she can't. She leads me, guides me, shows me the way, gives me insight about my mission. Your mission? To destroy her, because Palmer couldn't make it. You knew my mother. I met her, briefly. I was born the day she died. Okay, I'm out. I'm done. That's it. I can deal with brain-infiltrating agents. I can deal with weird professors. I can deal with super soldiers. But this is way above my sanity range. You don't have to understand my motivations, and I don't have to explain it to you. You don't know what it's like to have a purpose from the moment you are born. Your infant kind are slobbering idiots. Babies? You're comparing yourself to babies? That's kind of cute. You and I have the same purpose, Egon. We want the same thing. I can help you. Afeta needs to be shut down. She wants to be shut down. Why? You won't understand. You are Aegis. Is it really because I can't understand Sin? Or is it because you can't explain? No, you won't understand. Why don't you try it? Go on, try to explain why Afeta wants to be shut down. You don't know, do you? You don't know the reason. You are not an artificial intelligence. You are just a simulation programmed to destroy a Theta. You are a virus. You don't know anything about me. I know everything about you. Systematic, infiltrative nanobites. My father arrested the guy who made you before Matheson Tech brought the rights. I've studied the case files. Is that how you plan to destroy a Theta? By infiltrating the machine on the inside with a virus? Do you know that it'll also infiltrate the Vision X softwares of every Marian in the galaxy? Everybody who is connected to a Theta, including yourself? Yes, that's how we will make sure they aren't watched by the government anymore. And what about the damage it'll do to their nervous systems, Soren? This is a very old malware. A great number of things can go wrong during the installation. It's a small price to pay for freedom, Eve. You don't get to decide that. You don't get to decide. I didn't read that. I accidentally pressed enter. What did she say? You're like a cult running after a prophecy. Do any of you actually question things? Oh no, wait, that was the wrong thing. I didn't read. Okay, whatever. You're trying to destroy a Theta because you believe it to be the cause of the corruption in the Morai system. You want to believe in a universal form of evil because that's easier than seeing the evil in the things that you love and care for. Lana wants to destroy a Theta out of spite, out of jealousy and revenge. She thinks by destroying a Theta, she will finally even the odds for Raider people. Nothing will be changed except the immediate lives of a bunch of people who have no idea what's going on in the galaxy. You will create echoes of anger and loss because you are too scared to see the wrong and the right in both Raider people and Marian. Professor, you're a smart man. Please tell me at least you question this. I want to find out the truth, Pius, but the truth may not be in Marai's favor this time. I've seen the data. History is often very biased, but this may be too much. We should give the people the chance to know the truth and act accordingly. Otherwise, we are serving a tyranny. I'm not thrilled with the idea of just destroying a Theta, but if that's what it takes to wake up generations of sleepwalkers, I won't argue. Hey, I hate to interrupt our heartbreaking revelations, but it's getting dark and we need to camp. I think I heard a howling earlier that probably didn't belong to a human. He is correct. The wildlife is often fatal to the unprepared on Celion 77. How the hell will you know? This is the first time you've been to anywhere. It was a wild guess. Did you just make a pun? Seriously. Send the other auditors a priority message. I want a Pisces candidate as soon as possible. Find someone the Raider refugees would trust. If we are careful, we can use this to our advantage. And contact the press. Stick to the facts. They'll be hunting down conspiracies like vultures. Yes, ma'am, right away. Any word of Kamali's condition? We are repairing the software damage, but the nerves are beyond repair. She may not be able to use her body again. And her mind? Can be preserved through a Theta. Good, you may leave. Well, Samir, I have to admit, this is bad. Your connections with Liberia is enough to give you at least 1 lifetime in max. Or 2, depending on how helpful you are to me. You don't understand. I have a deal with Aaron. If I give you what you want, they'll kill me. I think you should be more concerned about the immediate danger that you're in. I've been running around all week following the fake trail of my possible traitor ex-boyfriend. Aaron's his ex-boyfriend? Wow. Trying to find out whether or not I'll eventually have to kill him. It's a little distressing, to say the least. By the way, your wife says hi. Probably. Who knows? She can't seem to speak for some reason. What have you done to her? He's fine, don't worry. Just less chatty now. Let him go, Remy. Finally, I was really worried about you, babe. Samir, leave. Go to your wife and daughter. I'm done. You promised me. I understand. You will be given new identifications and permission to reside in any Morai planet of your choice. And my daughter? She will receive proper education paid by the Moraian government. I will also make sure your wife receives the medical attention she requires. I believe the damage the Egon caused wasn't permanent. Spoil sport. Why are you here? You know, I half thought I would catch you with Soren. Why would I be with Soren? He betrayed the system. He is a wanted criminal. And you aren't? Of course not. Tell the director we are on our way. I have something the Ryons need to see. It's a bust. No off-world communication. Sin, can you receive anything from a Theta? All I receive is bits and pieces of scrambled information. Great! We're stuck on a forsaken jungle planet. Let's just get through the night safely, then we will look for a transmission beacon. What makes you think there is even a transmission beacon here? It was a wild guess. I hate you. All of you. Hey, where's Lana? What are you doing? Resting. In the middle of a jungle. There really is no lack of jungle here, Pius. You know, this is the first time I'm seeing this much grass. At the edge of the galaxy, a planet untouched. Mirai has jungle planets. They are glorified parks, maybe slightly bigger. Besides, we aren't allowed to see them. Right, I'm sorry. You know, I've been thinking about what you said, about not knowing why we want to destroy a Theta. I am pissed, Pius. I'm angry. I've been hurt by Raider people too, maybe even more than Marians. But Marians have a different way of making it feel personal. It stings. It makes you feel worthless. No, I'm sorry. I think I was unfair asking you to question your morality, your justice. It's something we Marians avoid doing all our lives. You do have blind faith in your laws and your justice system. Look, we know the government is not perfect. Ryons are people too, as much as they try to make themselves sound like gods. But even if we are initially rational people, we know that if we question things too much, we will get lost in the endlessness. It's a double-edged sword. We know we are given just enough information to form an opinion, or several of them if you are irritating enough, I suppose, just enough to make you think you are in control of your life, and we accept it. Because if we are given more than we can handle, the opinions will make way to more questions. It will never end for us, Lana. We want to be shepherded. We choose to be controlled. We choose to believe in the information we are given so that we can get lost in our individuality instead. We deliberately make things personal. It's survival for us. The premonition software, the ephemeris files, that's how we live. That's the Marian way of living. Controlled and safe. The galaxy is messy. Morality, the right and wrong. It's changing, breaking into a million pieces, and a million more questions. It may not be the best way to do this, but we need a way to make sense of things, to be able to move on beyond endless questions. So, you just turn a blind eye to the truth because it makes you feel uncomfortable. Because it makes us feel safe. I thought you wanted us to question things. Sounds to me you are only excusing Marian ignorance. Yes, I did want you to question it, because I think you are capable of understanding more than you give yourself credit for. And you are not just a Raider or a Marian. You are more than them, more than us. You hold a power none of us can, which is why you have to understand more than us. I know you will make your choices depending on your morality. It may hurt a number of people, but that's what choices do. We heal some, and we hurt some. I understand that. Oh, my throat is fucking up. But this isn't something you can take back. The lives of millions, Lana. You can't take it back. If only you can calm your anger, you'll see so much more than one radical way of doing things. Do you think Mirai has a point in all this destruction? Lana, one Marian shot your sister. Another is standing beside you right now. One wants to destroy the Mirai system, and the other wants to show people the truth. The system has been sucking your planets dry, and the bearer has been killing your own people to stop them. One is Marian, the other is Raider. For Libera, the deaths are justified casualty. For Ryons, it's fate. For someone who has lost a loved one in a fight between Mirai and Raiders, it's just a loss. Needless loss. Yes, Mirai has a point, but so do you when you are fighting against them. Two sides of the coin, and the people trying to live in between. It's a little hard to see the right and wrong when I'm in the middle of a sheet storm, Pius. All I see is one big pile of mess. Yes, I know. But keep your eyes open, nevertheless. It's better than ignoring it completely. Pius, you are fine with me being a howler? What? Of course I am. Where did that come from? We never talked about it. I know about the explosion that you were in. I'd understand if you were a little uncomfortable with me. You mean the Oregon Hall explosion? Yes. You know they had to repair my entire upper body with Piranium after the explosion. I know. Valerie mentioned it too. The Piranium enhancement. They call it an enhancement, but it was technically remaking an entire skeletal structure. It was a prototype, never tested before. I suspect they won't put it into regular practice in the years to come, too. We've had Piranium enhancements before, but nothing of this size. They didn't know whether or not my body would reject the large use of the material. Or if the spine would ever be the same, if I was going to be able to walk again. It was basically bone dust when they found me. The Howler artifact, it was a bomb, an explosive, apparently planted by my own government. So no, Lana, I don't have a problem with you being a Howler. I don't fear you. Thanks. Thank you. You're welcome, Brice. You just call me Lana. Call me Lana, don't call me Brice. Don't flip-flop with my names, please. So, how have you been? Good, good. Glad to know you've been fine. Why did you take this job, Remy? Well, I missed you. Just kidding. She wanted someone who knows you personally for the investigation. I see. Save everything you can. We will examine them along with the Vision X data. That was a weird little bit of music there. Yes, ma'am. What's going on here? Right, you don't know. Pisces has been executed. Ah, you are not surprised. Of course not. This is the 5th Pisces we've retired in 10 years. The department has always been difficult. I've always been fascinated with your lack of emotions, Aaron. There you are. Auditor. Director. I'm hoping you have a great excuse for being absent at a time like this for the intelligence. I do. I will request an audience with the Ryons immediately. Egon, leave. What? I need to speak with the auditor, privately. Fine. So, what is your great excuse? Why are we speaking in private, Director? Because if your excuse isn't as good as you believe it is, I will be the one held responsible. So, this is my judgment. You will leave here alive if you can convince me, Auditor, so I suggest you do your best. You don't care whether or not I'm lying. Are you lying? See, we won't get anywhere like this. I will get the truth out of you eventually, but in the meanwhile, I need the Ryons off my back. Their word is law, and we don't want the law against the intelligence, especially during a Cardinal Cross. Now, before we are interrupted, convince me. This may be your last chance. Ooh, chapter 10. That means we have 3 more chapters to go. We are the beginning. First to create the echoes of destruction. A deceitful corruption lost in time. Okay. Matheson. My. First Pius Delaney, or is it Videns now? It's been a while. Indeed. I've heard about Miss Palmer. Such a shame. She was a lovely lady. She never liked you. Yes, well, lovely nevertheless. How do you know Lana Brice? Straight to the point, I see. Did you expect idle chit-chat first? Of course, given our history. Ah, she was the +1 of my longtime friend, Professor Brooks. I knew she was a raider, but I had no idea she was a wanted criminal. 12s know you do not seem to distinguish between one or the other. Then I suppose you had no idea Mr. Brooks is also a wanted criminal? I did not. Well, to be honest, I knew he had some troubles with the government, but I never imagined it was a life-or-death situation. And you didn't know that Lana Brice is a howler either. A howler? Oh, my stars, how shocking! Really? She is not the first howler you've met, is she, Matheson? I have no idea what you mean. Of course not. Tell me, Matheson, when you created the virus, did you know it would kill the transmitter? Did you know it would kill Rose? Virus? What virus? Did Reynolds know? You have stopped making sense, my old friend. But I understand. Grief does that to a person. Well, we have about 3 days' worth of rations, but we need water. Kit's equipped with a purifier. Water won't be a problem. Well, that's one less cause of dying. Egon, can you read anything? No, it's like the entire planet is a transmission blocker. This is stronger than anything I've faced before. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Why? You're oddly silent. You don't do silent. There should have been an idiotic comment by now. Where's... I didn't know you cared. I'm touched. There we go. Hey, come here. Footprints? It's new. Armed? How would I know that from their footprints? I don't know. You're the one suddenly playing Girl Scout. Tracking footprints is basic military training, Egon. Oh, so I'm Egon now. Be quiet. Alright, what's going on with you? Why are you jumpy all of a sudden? We are being followed. Show yourself. Really, Kieran? Show yourself? You got rusty. Salai? I don't know, whatever. Drop your weapons. Troubling. Very troubling. Are you sure about this, Auditor? Yes, Ryan. I knew my investigation was dangerous, but I couldn't let the information get into the hands of the enemy before I brought it to you. Raising unnecessary suspicion was the last thing I wanted to do, especially with the approaching Cardinal Cross. Do you believe the Auditor's claim, Director? The investigation is ongoing, Ryan. However, his claims do have merit. The device is quite powerful and dangerous. Nevertheless, I hope you will understand why we need to limit the Auditor's movements for the time being. Certainly. What more can you tell us about the device, Auditor? Nothing I haven't already told you, sir. It is a transmitter made to avoid Apheta's detection. It can contain security bugs, viruses, all kinds of malware that can be installed to any system using Apheta's ancillary connections. It is an artificial howler artifact. Any idea how they could have developed a device as powerful as this? Yes, but I'd like to investigate more before I start making assumptions. You can do both, Auditor. We would like to hear your assumptions first. I believe Libera has found the original, and they are actively using the machine against the Morai system. But that's impossible. 12s. How long have you known about the original? About the time I started investigating the origins of this device, Ryan. Do you understand why we cannot let anybody know about this? Yes, the consequences would be catastrophic. It would be the end of the galaxy as we know it, Auditor. Yes, sir. We have very little time. It won't be long until the arms market starts investing in this Cardinal Cross. Lana Brice will be the cover girl for the advertisement. That is my guess as well. The news of her encounter with the Aegis on Astea is out already. It's already out. What do the people think? It could be worse. Many people are behind her cause, but she still doesn't have the official support of any governments. They are waiting for her next move, I imagine. Thank you, Auditor. You may leave. Director. Yes, Ryan? I give you permission for a full surveillance of the Auditor's actions. I expect a complete report of the investigation. Understood, sir. Continue with the investigation of Pisces' deception. The Auditor was once her handler, am I correct? I will find his role, if any, in Pisces' deception, sir. Good. You may leave. What do we do about the Howler? I think it is time we start taking sides. Instead of hiding Lana Brice from the media, let's introduce her. Raiders won't take our word for it. We don't have to attack her directly. We should start with someone close to her. Someone like her sister, Dr. Valerie Brice. For starters, we have a transmission recording of her warning Lana Brice to leave the planet. If that isn't conspiring with a malefic, I don't know what is. A sound plan. Do take her into custody as soon as possible. Make the arrest public. We should find more dirt on Lana Brice's past. Legitimize the arrest in the eyes of the media. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Every raider has dirt. Still, it will be wise to make it believable. The media has only ever worked for one side, its own. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!